Caregiving is profoundly meaningful, yet its true scale is often invisible. The value of unpaid care in the U.S., a staggering $1.01 trillion annually, almost double what's spent on professional home care. But this contribution has a high price. Chronic stress can weaken your immune response, leaving you vulnerable to illness. This isn't just being tired, it's a recognized medical condition, caregiver role strain, a formal diagnosis for decades. But burnout is not inevitable. Here, we'll break down therapist-backed strategies to build sustainable well-being. If you feel overwhelmed, you are far from alone. A recent survey showed 78% of caregivers feel burnout symptoms every week. Know the difference. Stress is overengagement with urgent, frantic emotions. Burnout is the opposite, disengagement. Emotions are blunted, you feel empty, detached. This shift happens when prolonged, chronic stress causes persistent anxiety and irritability. A primary cause of this persistent stress is role confusion, when the line blurs between caregiver and spouse, child, or friend. You lose the part of the relationship that recharges you. Your identity is consumed by the demanding caregiving tasks. This confusion gets worse with powerful internal myths. Beliefs like, I have to do it all myself, or I must be perfect. Behavioral therapists view these myths as psychological traps that stop us from seeking help and guarantee a sense of failure. So if our own mindset is the trap, what is the single most powerful tool for dismantling it? The answer is surprisingly controversial. The tool is setting boundaries. But for many, the word boundary feels like selfishness or even a form of abandonment. Therapists contend this is a fundamental misunderstanding. A boundary is not a wall, it is a gate you control. Here is the counterintuitive truth. Setting boundaries is not abandonment, it is the very definition of sustainable care. Think of it this way, your energy and time are finite. Without boundaries, you give until you are completely depleted. A boundary protects those resources so you can recharge. This ensures you can provide compassionate care for the long term. The best method is to act proactively. Set these limits during moments of calm, not in a crisis. Frame it as a plan, not a reaction. Even so, one emotion often stops us, guilt. The feeling that saying no means we simply don't care enough. Therapists teach us to see guilt as a feeling based on a myth, the myth that our own capacity should be limitless. The advanced skill to manage this is establishing emotional boundaries, the answer to escaping those psychological traps. To be clear, this is not indifference or being cold. That's unhealthy detachment, which is a symptom of burnout itself. Healthy emotional boundaries mean you can be empathetic and caring, without taking on the other person's pain as your own. These skills, setting boundaries, managing guilt, practicing detachment, point to a surprising truth about what resilience really is. Recall the myth that you should do it all alone. Research shows the opposite. Caregivers with higher resilience are more likely to ask for help. Resilience isn't about enduring more pain, it's about building a better support system. So how do we build it in the moment? One proven strategy is the micro break. Intentional pauses from 30 seconds to 5 minutes just to breathe. They significantly cut fatigue. For deeper work, cognitive behavioral therapy is highly effective. It directly helps caregivers challenge those destructive myths. Let's put this together. Burnout is a real medically recognized condition, driven by traps like role confusion and harmful myths. But it is preventable with proactive skills, setting sustainable boundaries, practicing healthy detachment, and building real resilience. Remember that $1.01 trillion figure, that represents your value. It is immense. Taking care of yourself, setting a boundary, taking a break, asking for help, is not a luxury. It is protecting your ability to give care. Your task isn't to do everything at once. What is one small boundary you can set or one micro break you can schedule this week?